NFTs are all the rage. In this video, I'm going to be finding out about a new NFT project.
Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
Find the best cryptocurrency investments, check out Token Metrics, use my affiliate link for a discount. Hey Sandy, thank you so much for making yourself available.
No problem, thank you for having me.
You are so welcome, you are so welcome. You are the CEO of Clam Island.
That's right.
That's right, and okay, now this is an NFT project, and for people who don't know, I mean, I think pretty much everybody in the crypto space knows what an NFT is, a non-fungible token, where one token isn't like any other. They're all unique. Unlike Bitcoin, or better still, a privacy coin like Monero or Pirate Chain, they are fungible, which means that one is exchangeable for another, or a $10 note is exchangeable for another $10 note. They're identical pretty much. Okay, so do you want to tell us what Clam Island is and what makes it so special?
Sure. First of all, I mean, our project it certainly does use NFTs, but I would describe it as more, it's a DeFi and NFT project mixed together. So the differentiating factor for us that we give NFT a specific use case in decentralized finance. And that really is a good summary of what we do. What we do here is we are basically something of a gamified yield farm. So through which you can utilize NFTs to then earn yourself a yield. So on Clam Island, what we have is we have two native tokens. So one is called Gem, which is our in-game token. The other is called Shell, which is our governance token. And then we have two types of NFTs. So one is called one is clams, and they literally are like a clam NFT, and the other is pearls. And what you do on our platform is you buy clams with Gem tokens. And with these clam NFTs, you can then use them to farm for pearls, and the pearl NFTs you can then use to redeem for yield. So it's a circular ecosystem, and basically the idea is that these clams and pearls all have randomized traits. So very much like your generative NFTs, except with purpose attached to them, because these traits can actually affect the amount of yield you earn from your pearls. So we gamify it in that way, so everybody can earn some. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You obviously have higher chance of winning than losing on our platform. But the idea is that we gamify this whole concept of earning yield in a yield farm.
Right. Okay. So let me go over that. So make sure I got it. So you got two tokens: a Gem token, GEM, which you use to purchase clams, clam NFTs, and then there's also the governance token, and I've forgotten the name of the governance token.
Shell. Yes.
Sorry?
Shell.
Shell is the governance token, and then people use that to vote and determine the direction of the project. Then there's the Pearl NFT, which is what people use the Clam NFT for, and it's the Pearl NFT that gives yield. Is that right?
Yes. So the Clam NFT is what produces a pearl. So you got to get a Clam NFT and put in the farm, like how you would in real life, how you would farm pearls with a clam. But the pearls is what you redeem, burn for a yield in the Gem token.
Okay. All right. Now, why not just have a simple DeFi application? Why do it this way?
Well, new one seems to pop up every week. That's one reason. And for most of these yield farms, they don't really do anything differently. I mean, there's a practice of basically forking an existing project, have a new token name, and then it produces yield natively. People farm it for a while, the native token price drops, and the project dies, and then on to the next fork. And that's been happening since since DeFi has really become a thing, about 2 years ago, really. And I've been in the DeFi space for quite a long time. Well, for power, if you can call it DeFi, having been around for a long time. But I've seen a lot of that, and especially on Binance Smart Chain, which we are at. When Binance Smart Chain first rose to prominence, it was mostly on the back of all these yield farming forks. And I've seen enough of them come and go to think, there's got to be more to yield farm than just this. You can make money through them, yes, but it's literally just hopping from project to project as they get deployed and die. And I just feel like it's a better way of doing things to make a more permanent project, to make it interesting, and to gamify it.
Okay, so how do you make this one? How come this one is a permanent project or a long-lasting project? How do we know it's not going to die?
Yeah, well, it's the way we design the ecosystem. So there's many mechanisms in place to make sure it works correctly, and it's actually, it sounds like the UI itself and everything makes it look like a light-hearted, fun sort of game, but there's actually a lot of complex mechanics going on behind it. So the idea is that instead of you gotta buy to earn the most yield in the native gem token, you gotta buy these clams, they said, and then you gotta produce pearls with them. Now there's a time involved to doing that, and when you produce these pearls, there's a set of randomized trades, which means, as I said, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. You are more likely to win than you lose, and that's how you overall gain yield. But you need to be able to win on average. You need to have some patience and stay within the ecosystem. So besides the time investment for buying the clams and farming for the pearls, when you try to redeem the pearls for rewards, there is also a requirement in the bank for your pearls to match a set of traits. And the cycle for the set of traits to come full circle is about 36 days. So if the pearl you have doesn't match the color and the shape that the Clam Island Bank currently has, you only get half the yield you're supposed to get from the pearl. So you can still claim it, but you half the yield. And the yield also comes in a 30-day stream. If you don't want to wait for the stream, again, you can claim it right now to come to your wallet, but then it halves again. But the game is designed to sort of reward the more patient players to stay within the ecosystem, farm the pearls, and wait it out, and stay active in the game, paying attention to when the pearl is best claimed for the rewards. So it's sort of this idea to draw people in to play the game, and once you're hooked playing the game, you're staying within the ecosystem, you're a fan of the game, then you also you wait for the right timing to claim your pearls, and the more you do that, the more you become entrenched in the ecosystem, and the more you want to play the game for long term, rather than other projects where you might just you only yield for 2 days and then dump it all and then move on to the next project.
Right, okay. And then what sort of yield can people expect? What's the range?
Well, there's a few things. I mean, we actually got a major update coming as well to overhaul some of how the mechanisms work. So for the past, I guess, 6 months or so, it's been, if you play the game correctly and wait out for that highest yield to come around, you would on average earn, for one clam on average, you'd be able to farm it and claim the stream, 30-day stream for all the pearls in about 40 to 60 days or so. And within that time period, you would be able to earn approximately, again, the gem price fluctuates as well, but if you're talking about gem token terms, you'd be able to earn about 2 times your return if you had played it out and waited the whole time without claiming anything early. So that's reasonably high, and that's to be expected when we're in the earlier phases of development. And since then, the new update to come will change the mechanism a little bit. So amongst other things, it will make it, the yield a little bit less as well, but it will also make you a little bit less likely to lose on average, because it is possible, because of the way the game works, it is possible for you to lose. And for some people, when they first buy a claim and generate pearl and realize that they've earned less gem than they paid for it, and they don't like that. But and if you're really unlucky, you could maybe get 2 or 3 claims, and it makes 3 losses in a row. So we're trying to make the system more balanced, so that chance of that happening is less likely. And also the average yield you earn is not quite as high. So after the new update, which is coming in probably a few weeks' time to be finalized, the average yield over the lifespan of a clam will be approximately 60% rather than 2 times the investment. But this is average figures. The whole attraction of this platform is that it's almost like gambling, but it's opposite effect in the sense that the more you play, the more you're likely to win instead of to lose. And you always have that chance of, if you really get a really rare pearl, a really rare clam, which then generates a really rare pearl, you could earn something real big, like hitting the jackpot. So you could earn under the new system up to 300 times your investment. Obviously if you're really lucky to hit the jackpot. So that attraction is always there.
Right. Okay. Well, and those sort of returns, they're not. I mean, some of the returns on some of the DeFi projects that just disappear, like the protocols. They thousands and thousands of percent, and then they all die. And people that set them up cash in early. Yeah. So, and yours isn't unreasonable. It doesn't sound like that. It sounds realistic, and of course, a whole lot better than anybody would get from a bank.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this is really the thing. I mean, everybody's heard of the DeFi returns, but at the end of the day, if you have a project that's promising you million% APY, for anybody that invests, then you know inflation is going to be a problem sooner or later, right?
Yeah.
And so what we try to do is really do this average concept, but then add this gambling element, so that everybody has that chance to earn 300x or whatever it is. But it's a chance. You got to be lucky. So some will earn it, most people won't. And that's the way to, I think, still have the attraction of really high potential APY, but for most people, they're earning something much more reasonable. And that's what you need. I mean, you can't expect to earn a million% APY and not have token price problems later down the track.
Okay. All right. Well, talk me through it. So if I wanted to get involved in this, I would go to PancakeSwap or SushiSwap and trade my BNB or BUSD for gem tokens. And then on your website, on your application, I would then convert those gem tokens for Clam.
Yes. So if you go on our UI, I mean, the website, it's all a pretty immersive sort of 3D UI. And from the island there, you can go to the clam shop, which is where you buy the clams. And you can actually, we recently implemented this feature, so you can actually buy clams with BNB. And what would happen then is in the background, the smart contract will use 80% of the BNB to buy the gem token and then burn it. So it's similar effect to if that person had gone and bought the gem themselves and then bought the clam. So you can do that, or you can buy the gem yourself and then go on the Clam Island to spend it on the clam. Either way will work.
Okay. All right. So then I've got the Clam. I lock it into your website, into the application.
Yeah, there's a separate part. So if you go on our website, you can see the different islands there. Like in the background of my video, you can see the different islands. They're all clickable on our UI. So there's a farm you might see back there. The island that looks like a farm. That's literally the clam farm. So once you bought your clam, you go in there and you deposit your clam, and then it'll take you some time to produce a pearl.
Right. Okay. Sandy, can we just do a pause for 10 seconds?
Yeah, sure.
And why that is, that's just a note for me. I'm going to put the website overlay you talking about it. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. So I've put them in the clam farm, and then where do the pearls pop out? Is there an oyster? Right.
Well, it's coming from the clam. I mean, most people don't realize this, but clams produce pearls. But in real life, they're not generally commercially farmed because you usually would use an oyster. But clams do produce pearls. So you deposit in the farm, and then it'll take anywhere between 8 to 72 hours, and that's random for each time you do the production, just to again make it a bit fun. So when you deposit it, it will tell you how long it takes. So it could be 8 hours, could be 72 hours, could be anywhere in between. And when the time has passed, you can come to the farm and collect your pearl. The collection process, to collect the pearl, you got to pay some more gem again. But this gem token is basically how you earn your profit, right? Because the clams traits plus the pearl you collect traits will act as a multiplier on that gem price you paid for the pearl. So if you had a clam that gives you, say, for example, 2x multiplier, and then your pearls, because of the traits, give you another 2x multiplier, then that pearl will be able to earn you 4 times the gem price you paid on the pearl. So that's how that mechanism works.
Okay, and then so then I could trade the pearl for a gem token. Now, let's say I've got 4 times multiplier what I initially put in, and then I can go and get some more clams and compound my returns that way.
Exactly. Yes. So you're able to. So when you get the gem reward from the pearl, you don't get the gem until you claim it. So you have to burn the pearl in return for that gem. I mean, the other thing you can do is trade it to somebody else, or maybe if you think it's really nice looking or it's rare, you want to keep it as a collectible NFT, you can do that too. But you can do that, or if you want to collect your reward, you burn the pearl, you get the gem tokens, which will come in the 30-day stream, unless you're happy to to collect it now and half your reward. But assuming you've gone for the 30-day stream option, that's then locked away for over that 30-day period. But on our platform, you're actually able to use the locked gem tokens to put towards a clam's purchase price. Not the pearls, but you can use it to purchase a clam. So if you had enough gem locked away from burning many pearls, you might be able to buy a clam right away using the locked away gem, even though that's not otherwise available. Like you couldn't get that in your wallet. Right. But that's not a feature that we have.
Okay. All right. And okay, so I can keep compounding this way. And there is a delay, and then there's a little bit of surprise quality? Is it going to be 8 days? Is it going to be 72 days or 72 hours, sorry, or 8 hours or 24 or whatever, right? So then I can see how that would have people coming back for more and more and more and check it out. Maybe next time it'll be quicker.
Yes.
And how much are these different tokens worth at current prices, roughly in dollars?
The gem token is currently about half cent, and shell is, I believe, about $9 or $10. So that puts us at we're still early days. I think that puts us at a total market cap of somewhere around 200K for the gem token, and the shell token will be a lot less. So the shell token is designed to be a much scarcer token. So what you'd be able to do is, when we had a pre-sale for the shell token last year. So after that, what we have now is the only way for you to mint more shell tokens would be to burn a clam for it. And it has to be a live clam that hasn't produced all of its pearls yet. So it's sort of like the player sort of makes a choice whether they want to keep producing the pearl until the very last. And we have a system where the later pearls produced by a clam has a higher chance of being a rare one. So you choose whether you want to produce the last pearl with the highest chance of being a rare pearl, or you want to burn that clam before that point to get to claim the shell token. And as I said, the shell token in that way is designed to be much rarer because most people will want to try and produce pearls and get their yields. That makes our shell token supply. The rate of increase for the shell token supply to be very low.
Right. Okay. And then how does the shell token work as a governance token?
Yeah. So that's we do intend to turn ourselves into a DAO. We're not currently a DAO because this concept we developed as well for claims and pearls is it's quite unique. I haven't heard of anybody else doing things this way. But in doing things this way and sort of creating a completely new system ourselves, we also want to make sure we get the balance right. So we're at a phase where we're making these big changes to the ecosystem as well to make the system as balanced as possible. And once we're at that point where we think we've got a very stable ecosystem, at that point we basically hand the keys over to the community. So until then, there are certain decisions that we might let the shell token holders make. So whether through a snapshot voting or something else, there's a decision that we feel like the community can make a vote on. It will be a vote by using shell tokens. But becoming a true DAO where you have DAO votes to actually determine the variables of the platform, etc. That will come to a later stage, and that's what you will use shell token for. The other thing is that we are in the process of also designing what we call we used to have a citizenship program all around Clam Island. We're revamping that. So the idea is, you will as a clam holder, you will be able to become a citizen. But we are revamping the system so that we give VIP tiers to for example, the shell governance token holders who want to lock their governance tokens away in lock pool for a period of time. These people will become VIP citizens basically, and through this system, these VIP citizens will also get benefits. In addition to like for example, we plan to implement booster items on the island where you can buy boost items to boost, for example, pro production or boost the likelihood of a certain trait. But this sort of thing you get access to if you are a VIP citizen that has locked away shell tokens. So things like that we're implementing for the shell token holders as well.
Right. Okay. And the boost will give like features that will result in greater returns or quicker returns.
Yeah, exactly. So we obviously got to balance things so nobody's winning too easily, but there will be benefits through these booster items that will be available. Some of them will be exclusive to the shell token holders, or the ones that have locked it away in the locked pool.
Right, and then people can trade in these booster tokens as well.
No, you'll be like booster items. So we actually haven't decided yet whether we should make that tradable because I suppose it makes sense because these booster items will be NFTs themselves. So you can choose to use them on a particular clan or it would make sense then to allow it to be traded. I think for a price, whatever the market thinks it's worth.
Yep. Okay, yes, I can see how that makes sense. Now you've mentioned about the pearl being burnt. Does it also get minted when it gets created, or is there an ever diminishing supply?
Yes, the pearls are always minted when they're when the clams generate the pearl, it then becomes minted, and at that point all of the random traits are generated. And that's through an on-chain oracle, so it's all verifiably random, not controlled by us, the protocol, or anything. So yeah, that gets minted when it's created, and then you burn the pearl in return to get the gem when you want to claim the gem tokens.
Right. Now, are the gem tokens minted and burned, or is it just a fixed supply?
It's minted and burned, so there's no technical like max cap. It's a bit like how the pancake swap would be, in terms of the cake token. So the idea is, if more people are buying the clams and producing the pearls, then more pearls are being minted. And in that case, when they burn those pearls to claim the gem, then more gems are minted. But in the first place, they have to burn some in order to buy the clam and in order to produce the pearl. So as long as people keep playing this game, this continuous burning and minting will keep happening.
Okay.
So that's the intention.
Okay. Now, you mentioned you've had a private sale. Are you doing a public sale, or has that already happened?
It was a public pre-sale. It wasn't a private sale. So it's public pre-sale that happened already it was last year. I think it was July last year. So that's already long gone. Like that's happened. We had a launch, and then we had already one major update applied at the end of last year, and the next major update is happening, as I said, in the next few weeks.
Right. Okay. All right. So the platform's live. You're not doing another sale, because you said pre-sale. It got me thinking: are you going to be doing another sale if people want to get involved?
No, it was pre-sale. In the sense, it was a pre-launch sale. So
right.
The pre-sale was only when it was a community pre-sale, and the team was never allocated any gem tokens, and we allocated a small amount of shell tokens, the same amount that anybody could buy from a pre-sale, and that's it. The community owns the rest. There's no other VC backers or anyone else that owns these tokens.
Right. Okay. All right. Now the application is live, so people can go ahead and try it out and start earning yield this way. And I'll have all the links in the description below. Is there anything else you want to let us know about? Anything we haven't covered?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think it's sometimes I think the 3D UI, like if you're on, like right now, we don't have a very good mobile UI. So if you're on a mobile phone, it probably won't look that great. Something we're working on to fix. But I think for us, I'd encourage anyone to come check out our platform. Don't be scared. I mean, I think the price of a clam right now isn't that high anyway. But like I think yield farming, we have this almost the situation where a lot of people are quite happy dealing with what they've known for years, and they're almost scared to do anything a little bit different. I'd encourage them to try it out. For us, I mean, it's not a huge investment. You can try it out to see how it works. If you don't like it, you don't have to invest again. But look, we have big plans for the platform. There are a lot of big changes, big new features we want to add. Some of which I probably shouldn't publicly talk about yet. But
they're the ones I want to know about.
Look, you can see some information on our latest update in our latest Medium article. And what I can say is that there is a big change to the way we implement our yield farm. Because if you go to the Clam Island bank, right now, you can do the typical yield farming thing where you deposit your tokens and you get some gem tokens back. Right, so you can do you can deposit USDC LP, for example, and then you get some gem tokens back in typical yield farming fashion. You just harvest your yield. The idea originally was that clams and pearls, though, is a way to earn yield that is higher than the yield farm. So if you're willing to play the game, then you also are able to earn higher yield. But I think the more we develop the platform, the more things went on, the more I feel like the typical yield farming model actually does not make a lot of sense. So what's happening once we do the next batch of updates in the next few weeks? The update to come after that is actually going to be a complete overhaul of how the yield farming system works. So in Clam Island Bank, where you see the typical yield farm, that will be completely changed to a complete new model, which utilizes our NFTs to directly yield farm. So that I can't reveal the details yet, but it will be coming public over the next few weeks.
Yes.
Okay. There is one more thing I think it's worth mentioning for those of us that are not familiar with our platform. We have been around for a while, and we try to differentiate from the standard yield farming forks, the anonymous holders, etc. As you know, we're the founders, myself, and Dost. And we are actually, last year we participated in the Tachyon Accelerator program. So that's the one that's run by Consensus Mesh. And it is that consensus. So we are actually running through that program, coming through as one of the 20 teams in that cohort. So we actually are backed by Consensus and also Protocol Labs, who is behind Filecoin. So we have some big names behind us as well.
Right. Well, that's important, right? Having that credibility and legitimacy afforded by that backing.
Yeah,
There is one other thing that occurred to me when you mentioned this earlier about being afraid of yield farming. And do you know, I was when it all came out, yield farming, and I've been running my posting videos since 2017, in April 2017. So I was there at the beginning of the 2017, 2018 bull run and right through the bear market. And then DeFi starts up and yield farming and all this stuff. It was all about food, sushi swap and
that's
pancake
right.
swap. And I didn't understand any of it. And it was a while before I explored it. Ah, the gains that I missed out on because of that, right? So again,
Yeah.
I would just echo what you said, that it's worth, at the very least, it's worth exploring and investigating.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and that we've been through that season. There was a food season. There was some other themes I don't even remember. It's just whatever. I mean, on Phantom, it was all ghost themes. But we've been through that. I think we're at a point where at least there isn't a new farm with a new theme every second day. And it was, I'm not exaggerating, it really was at that point on Binance Smart Chain, especially back in those days. But now I think it's more about, I think, a project that makes sense, that actually does something differently. And I hope you can be that project and do enough to, I guess, to make us a real lasting platform and attract people onto your platform, basically.
Great, thank you. Very good. Well, that's another reason for people to check out the Telegram group and go check out this project for themselves and investigate it and try it out. Okay, Sandy, anything else you want to let us know?
No, look, I think that pretty much covers everything. But yeah, look, as I said, check it out. Doesn't hurt to try something new. And no, thank you very much for having me here.
You're absolutely welcome. Thank you for taking the time out to explain this to us. And if anybody's watching, have you tried this out? If you have, or if you hold any of the tokens, give us the ticker symbol for any of those tokens. If you have any comments or questions, put them in the description below. And between now and when I see you next, please keep it in your pockets of crypto profits. This is Crypto Rich and Crypto Sandy signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.